audible to all of you? Am I audible to all of you? Good evening. Am I audible to all of you? Okay. So I have logged in 3 minutes back also, but at that time my voice was not reaching you somehow. Sorry, and thank you for just waiting by, and we will begin our session right now. Okay. So let us start with the Nifty. Okay. So going to everything. Okay, and going to the Nifty. Okay, so now what you can see today, that after many days of consolidation, Nifty has emerged for an up move. Quite likely that we may see Nifty moving towards this level. Just a second. 18,670. It will reach 17,000, 18,000, and then probably towards this 18,086 kind of area it will reach, highly likely. Okay. See, you can see that we had discussed about this level because it was staying above 200 DMA for quite long time, and it was not able to actually cross this level of 17,400, 500. That day I showed you. Let me show you this through the Nifty future. You will understand. So if you can understand, there was a high volume node resistance that was acting here. If we consider whatever we consider, if we consider this visible range, then also this level comes as important level. If we take this visible range, then also this level comes into consideration. So this level is very important. This 17,500, 600 roughly. Okay, 17,500. So once this is crossed, this 17,500, I think this will going forward going to act as support. Minor resistance at 17,800, and then possibly, as I showed you, possibly we are going towards this 18,091. Possibly we will reach this level because we have already crossed this 61.8% pullback level, this level, and possibly going forward. Okay. Now, why Nifty was unable earlier to cross this level was due to this. Okay. Bank Nifty. Okay. So if I'm talking about Nifty Bank, what Nifty Bank was doing is it was continuously trading below. And again, let me go to the Nifty Bank future. Okay. Nifty Bank Index future. Okay. So if I'm talking about the Nifty Bank Index future, okay, and then the volume profile will come in just a second. Why it is not coming? Some error is happening. Some error is happening. It is not coming properly. It is not coming properly. Not coming properly due to some reason maybe in the software. Anyways, let me go to the Nifty Bank itself only. Don't need the volume profile at this point. Let me explain without volume profile also. What it was doing was the 61.8% pullback that was there, that was hindering this fall. Okay. Now you may see that over the next 3, 4, 5 sessions, Bank Nifty have a super run, and Bank Nifty actually moving towards this 39,400, 500 level, or at least towards this 38,200, 300, quite highly likely. Okay, or 38,100, quite highly likely if the momentum continues. Now, why these things were happening, you have to understand. Okay. So if you look at the oil price, especially, uh, uh, you can see the oil prices $98.80, and that is acting as a positive catalyst. Okay, that is acting as a positive catalyst for our market, because right now $98 and the Brent is $135, $103. It has gone to $140 also. Now it is $103, and India is buying almost 10% of its crude requirement, you can say, from Russia at $35 discount to this, because of the sanctions that US has imposed on Russia. So India is planning to buy, because Russian foreign minister is coming to India. If those things materialize, domestic fuel cost can come down, and that may actually help market in shorter term. Okay. And one more important thing, I just wanted to show you. If you go to this web.stockedge.com, if you go to this web.stockedge.com, you can see that this FII cash figures suddenly have turned a little bit FII activity uh, in last few days during the time market recover in the positive. Earlier it was deep raid that was going on. If I go to the monthly data, you will be very scared to see how it was going on. Okay. Uh, Now the way this was going on is ideally uh, was putting, because if you look at if you look at the day wise, and then if we go to the DII data, just a second. Okay. Somehow it is not working today, but it allows actually, right? If I go to the DIA data, right here. So if I go, DII have been buying equal amount almost what FIIs have been selling. Okay. So the problem was in terms of what the FII should be doing. If you see the daily data, they were buying continuously. Now FII have also turned buyer, and that is why there is some kind of momentum in the market. And you have to understand one very important thing. Okay, look at this. Today, the most important data that came in the morning was this data. Okay, the China manufacturing PMI. It has gone to 48.1. This is purchasing manager index. Once it goes below 50, that means economy is contracting. It is separately released for manufacturing and separately released for service sector. Now you can see that manufacturing index in Spain, in Italy, everywhere it is dipping. Why it is dipping? Because of the high inflation that is seen due to the Ukraine-Russia war. So everywhere from last month or consensus, it is dipping. So globally, there is a kind of a threat of a slowdown, and in China, there is already a contraction also due to COVID that is visible. Okay. One good thing was, and here also, you can see non-farm payrolls data came just 1 or 2 minutes back. So it is showing much less job that was created earlier months. So there is a genuine scope of slowdown. Or I also shared shared an article in my group today, in the TMP group. I will show you. So if I go to my TMP group, because US bond yields are rising and short-term bond yields are right now more than long-term bond yield. So this is the article. So 2-year treasury yield tops or more than 10-year treasury yield, and that often shows indication of an upcoming recession. And see, uh, key part of yield curve, this is also breaking news. Key part of yield curve inverts a short-term rate jump after job report. So there is a genuine concern about the upcoming recession. So globally, of all the major economies, China is contracting. Russia is in deep state of trouble because of the sanction. US, they are indicating a recession. So only economy that is right now in a stable shape is possibly India. In spite of India importing 85% of its crude oil. One bad thing that is happening for India, you can see due to this high commodity prices, especially crude oil, India's forex reserve was 632 billion. It has declined 15 billion in just a month. Earlier, see, it was rising only. But since this chaos has broken out, uh, it has actually started coming. A peak was made around 640, I think, and from there it is coming down. That is a bad sign for a country like India. If there is a global slowdown, IT and other sectors will be affected. Why I am telling all these general things? Because you have to understand the context of the up move. I personally, until and unless this Russia-Ukraine move uh, actually crisis totally resolves, I don't expect a runaway kind of a move. Okay, like back Nifty reaching 45,000, 50,000. It looks quite unlikely. Even for Nifty, reaching of 18,100, 200, and then moving past to the 18,500 looks quite unlikely to me at this moment because of the kind of situation that is globally prevalent. You can see most of the economies are right now contracting. Even India might have published PMI number. No, only forex reserves came today. Possibly tomorrow you will get the PMI numbers, and you can see Russia PMI, manufacturing PMI contracted, and US manufacturing PMI. Everything will come in some time. So don't be very gung ho about the market. Market is trying to rise. My view would be until it is quite difficult to see a new high into the market. Why I am telling this? Let me explain. Okay. See, these are the monthly chart. These are the agricultural commodities. Now see, these are monthly chart. Wheat you can see almost lifetime high, right? Corn lifetime high. Soya bean monthly chart, these are lifetime high. Sugar lifetime high. Almost. No, sugar was earlier high, sorry. Sugar not lifetime high, but multi-year high. Sugar has not been such high for quite some time. Cotton monthly chart near, apart from this 2008, very high level. Black sea sunflower oil, these are at quite high level, right? Now let us come to uh, this light crude. Okay, crude coming down went up, but look at aluminium future, look at nickel future, all at lifetime high. Okay, zinc future, lead future, iron still not at lifetime high, but so if every commodity is at lifetime high, what will be the margin of the companies who are doing the using these raw materials and producing something? And what will poor people eat? Not only in India, globally. In India, still 80 crore people are getting free grains, but in many countries, you will see crisis looming right now, especially in countries like you have seen very hunger problem right now in Sri Lanka, in Afghanistan. So all the countries which are not very rich, and especially those who are little bit poor African countries, you will find that a lot of people, there will be a lot of food crisis. And if everything is going so expensive, how will a car maker make money? How will a utensil maker make money? How will the FMCG manufacturer make money if everything is going so high? So you have to understand uh, in present market scenario, it looks quite, see, market can do anything. Market can create new high also, but it looks very unlikely that this kind of rally may sustain for long. It may go for 200-300 points more, but very unlikely market would keep on running like this. Personally, there is I feel quite worried. Obviously, this is a technical breakout. If I'm talking about this one, hello, yeah, sorry, this is quite a troublesome situation. Unless war situation ekdam cool downs in next 5-10 days, it will be really tough for market to actually rally and market to actually do good. Okay, Nifty Bank Nifty obviously broke out. I cannot argue with the chart. Obviously, if there is more breakouts, I will share breakouts only with my students in the TMP in the club. But it is very difficult to understand how any business will make money. If price is so high, what will happen? The demand will actually come down for most of the things. Only maybe the hospitality sector, which was closed, the chemical sector, these kind of sectors can do well. But otherwise, the demand for everything will come down. And if companies are not making that profit, how will IT grow? So logically, this market often moves illogically also. I'm not saying market cannot go high, but very skeptical. And remember, though BJP has won UP election, but there are a lot of state election there. And 2024, there is a final election. I would like to show you one important thing. See, before every, this is the monthly chart. Okay, this is the monthly chart. Generally, before every election, there is a market fall. Okay, I will show you. This is the monthly chart. Yeah, from 6,000 to 5,000 before the election in which Narendra Modi became the prime minister. This big fall happened. Okay. Before the 2009 in which Manmohan Singh became prime minister, this big fall happened. Also the global meltdown. This fall before Modi's first term. This fall, like fall or range bound thing happened before Modi's second re-election. Okay. And before 2005 also, I will show you 2004 election in which Bajaj lost actually, and Manmohan Singh became, there was a fall. Okay. Even if I go to 1999, uh, at that time also before the election, you can see a fall. So I'm not saying, see, history may not repeat itself, but what I feel is that there is a quite likely that market may not rally too much. Okay, given we have a election in next 2 years, it may rally this year, but from next year, it is highly likely to go into a consolidation, because generally it has done in last 5-6 election over the last 25 years. Now, if this time it does not do, that can also happen. But what I am showing is that what market has done over the past like 5-6 election, market has always corrected. Okay. So overall global situation, another thing I just want to mention, you see, US market has broken this trend line, started going up, but again, like this. And if you can see the US bond yield, US government bond yield, just now the job data came and it is rising. Okay, it is rising quite steadily and on the verge of breaking this trend line. Okay, on the verge of breaking this trend line. And then it can be a, what if the inflation like this persists, this can be quite a move, and that is not likely to be a great scenario. Okay, because of this everything global turmoil, gold has crossed this 19,000 and staying above this, but unable to move higher. Okay, if you ask me on a portfolio level, I personally plan to sell my mutual funds. I don't have much stocks. I personally plan to sell my mutual funds and go into cash for some time, and I would look for a correction ahead of 2024 election, or at least dip again towards this lower levels if this is inflation persists to get into. Because what I personally think is that result season won't be great. Apart from maybe IT and bank, result season won't be great because of this kind of margin pressure that are being witnessed. Okay. Now let me discuss about the charts that the stocks that I have given this week. I am in the TMP. These are the stocks that I have discussed. I discussed when this breakout happened. This stock has rallied 6-7%. Adani Enterprise. Okay. Tata Chemical. If I'm talking about, I discussed 2 days back. It is almost at the same level only. Tata Consumer I discussed today for the upside, almost at the same level, just rallied maybe 1% since I have given. Yesterday I had given KEI Industries. KEI Industries since then had started moving, can move quite a bit actually. Okay. So discussing the stocks that I have given to my students. Okay. So again, you can see the way KI Industries have moved. So basically, these are a few stocks. Last week, I discussed Tata Elxsi, if you remember. So Tata Elxsi continued its up move this week as it broke newer highs and hit almost 9,400. Okay. So when I discussed last week evening session, it was 8,500. It hit almost 9,400. Now it is staying like this. For next week, frankly speaking, Bank Nifty, the way it is broken out, Bank Nifty can do good. So let us look at Axis Bank. Can go towards 812. One should enter above 751, 820. It can go. ICICI Bank, not very bullish right now. Not very bullish. Okay, yet to break out properly. HDFC Bank also similar. Because they were very oversold compared to Nifty, they bounced today, still not above 200 DMA, so I'm not sure. Then IndusInd Bank again broke out, but yet to reach 200 DMA, 997. And why market rallied is because of the PSU bank. So if you look at the SBI, which did phenomenally well and which is maybe one of the few banking stocks which are above 200 DMA. So I was discussing with the student, if it stays above 505, 506, can go to 545. So keep a very uh, cautious eye on State Bank of India. I would say this will give you the key cue, the way the Bank Nifty is going to behave next week. Okay. Very importantly, India VIX has come down today, possibly, and coming to 200 DMA, and possibly India VIX will right now trade between, I would say, because the war volatility is gone, possibly it will trade in the range of, and because of this election volatility is gone, it will start trading in the range of 13 to 20 band. It may start, and so still on the higher end, but may eventually slowly go down. Okay, may try to bounce back once it hits 70, like this. For sectors, I can show you these sectors, like CNX Realty did well today because they were very oversold. Nothing other than that, bank oversold. Okay, one more stock that I had given this week was Bajaj Finserv. Okay. What is happening? It has moved 2%, and I always tell my students to book 50% profit once you have 2%. Now this kind of market, and the remaining, if you have a Tata Elxsi kind of a move, you trail the remaining thing. Okay, as the price moves up, you trail the stop loss. Otherwise, not a very clear thing about market. Let us see how the index futures are behaving after this data came, job data came, see they are falling. So quite confused that what market wants to do at this point. Really very confused that what market wants to do. Have to observe that what market wants to do, because not very sure that if the Dow Jones actually corrects after the data, and after the data you can see the dollar index forming up. And just a second, if I look at this Dow futures, if it somehow again comes to this 34,100, which it can come given the volatility in the yield curve. If I show you this yield curve, you can again see that it is on the verge. Again, this is monthly chart on the verge of breaking a very important resistance, and can in that case go to 3.2. And it is quite likely, given the kind of inflation the world is observing right now, if there is steep rate rise, there is quite likely scenario that people are talking about recessions right now. Okay. Now, this news flow is always there. Every day there is a meeting. If something positive comment comes, suddenly oil drops and markets rally. And if at the end of the meeting, there is no progress is told, then oil goes up. And that's how the market has been volatile. It is very difficult to trade in this phase. Trust me, I am very happy that all the stocks that I have given, none of them had hit stop loss, at least moved 2%, 3%. It is very difficult. And in normal time, I used to give 3-4 stocks a day to my students in the TMP. Right now, in the whole week, I'm giving only 4-5 stocks. Okay. Uh, so very difficult situation. You need to be very, I would say, uh, very particular about technical analysis. You need to understand the pulse of the market, and then you can take a decision. And because every day 30-40 alerts are coming, and out of them I'm only giving one or two. Trust me. And to select that one or two, it requires really a lot of experience. Then only one can select out, because the kind of scenario market is going, because of the war news flow. One should not ideally trade in this kind of war news flow. Since I'm happy, since in spite of that, people who have joined the TMP, who are trading with us in the TMP, are still making money in the kind of situation they're discussing the stocks. Okay, so you can see Tata Chemicals discussed today. Okay, so all the news flows. So Adani Ports that I have given had rallied quite a bit. So all this discussion goes on. Yesterday, KI was given. Okay, so Bajaj Finserv also rallied 2% in 2 days. Okay, so this kind of calculation. That day, I gave that Bank Nifty high volume note. From here it could bounce. Bank Nifty actually had bounced 1500 points since then. And I told that, see, of this fall, this was the high volume note. Once it is there, it can go quite high. And this was the post on Tuesday. So if you look at the Bank Nifty chart, okay, if you look at the Bank Nifty chart and look at the 15-minute chart, okay, look at the 15-minute chart. So this was Tuesday, okay. At that time, it was around this level when I said that it can really do well, okay. And if I look from the angle of a Elliott wave analyst, I can see 1, 2, maybe 5 have completed, or still can go a little bit more and then likely to fall. Let us see how it happens. Okay, very difficult right now to predict something with very confidence. So that day I showed here that this high volume node was there, and possibly actually high volume node, consider the recent fall. Hence 35,600 acts as support for Bank Nifty futures. And you can see how Bank Nifty rallied after that. Since then, phenomenal rally. So this is all about very difficult market. Uh, if you are not very experienced in technical analysis, and you uh, please join this club. I would say there all of our analysts are posting full day about the opportunities that are there. Okay, so we can join, because we are already discussing like this. I personally don't get much time to post here. I post mostly in my TMP with my TMP students. So this is all about. Today, Vivek sir is not here. Vivek sir has Vivek sir has gone to Goa. So right now, Vivek sir is not here. What to do with Tata Elxsi now? Book lot of profit, and if you have few shares, you can have. But once it breaks below 8,800, you should exit. It is visible range volume profile, ma'am. In the last class, Navneet, sorry, sir, in the last class, Navneet Bhatia ji, last week I discussed about this indicator. Sheila foam. I don't want to go very stock specific in this session, because if some stock looks good, I will share that in the TMP that my students know. And Sheila foam not looking great to me by somehow, because I can see kind of a this one. So once it break out, one may think not right, not looking very great. Obviously, I said that chemical and chemical sector may do good in this market, and maybe to some extent this hospitality sector, but otherwise don't find much thing in this market. So trade less, trade very judiciously, have your stop loss, and try to see everything will correct heavily, because I am telling you, one of my friend who was in FMCG distributorship business, he said that he had to quit his distribution business right now, because in FMCG distributors don't have more than 3% margin. Okay, now this 3% margin, with this 3% they have to take the cost also. Okay, so it is not after cost 3% margin, they have only 3% margin, 3% margin. Okay, now due to the fuel cost has gone up, and due to the dispersed locality, dispersed geography in the village. So in the rural sector, what is happening, that all the FMCG, those who are delivering, they are not able to recover their cost due to high fuel price. So FMCG goods are not reaching distant corners where there are not a huge consumption, but dispersed consumption. So situation is tough. Market 1 or 2 day may give good rally and people may get excited, but please understand, this is a phase where this is not a phase that where you can be very aggressive and trade, because economic situation is right now very bad due to globally, not only in India. India is still one of the best because growing 9% in this scenario, but inflation will hit everyone. So requesting all of you, uh, I don't know if it is free or paid. You have to check. I don't know if it is free or paid. Okay, you get this indicator here. If you go to the indicator, uh, go to the technicals volume profile. See, good things will come with price. Okay, if you look everything free, then if company gives everything free, then how will the company run? Then the company will shut down, right? Because everything has a running cost. The employees in the trading view who are creating such a beautiful software, they also need to get paid at the end of the day. So So if you look for everything free, then actually you understand the company will get killed. So everything cannot be free. They are giving a lot of things free, but uh, everything cannot be free, right? I have discussed how to about the volume profile in last session. So thanks to everyone. Have a great weekend. Market is difficult. We will again meet next weekend. I have actually stopped being very active in Twitter. Earlier, I used to put a lot of stock ideas in Twitter. Like at least 50% of the ideas that I used to put in my TMP, I would have put here. But right now, I have totally stopped being active in the Twitter. So sorry for that, but right now won't be active in the Twitter for quite some time. So and not so either in the club, or if you have to be remain connected either through the club, StockEdge club, or through the TM. Okay, great. So have a great weekend, and let us meet next week. Okay, bye. Take care. I have discussed in the volume about volume profile in details in the last session. Watch that session in the last post-market analysis session. All those who are doubtful about volume profile, watch that session, last week's session. 7 days back, that is uploaded into the YouTube StockEdge channel. Okay, thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye bye. Thank you.